I believe in the mind what you think about, what you desire the most, you bring about. And the example that I'm going to use is when I was in South Dakota, Pennsylvania, in the oil fields. I was there for a long time. Sometimes I would go 3 weeks with no shower or longer, and in blizzard conditions, and it was terrible. And I was not happy because I could not even appreciate the home that I was providing for my family. I was out there, and so now I'm in the home. Maybe not under the option, maybe not under the optional maybe not under the optimal, situation, but it's something that I did want, and I did want it badly. It ached. It really ached in my heart, and apparently I brought it about. So that's the way I look at it. You know. So if you take that a little bit farther and say, okay, well, let's take Mother. She's always complaining. She's always upset. The dogs get on her nerves. Her back hurts. Her head hurts. I mean, it's a never-ending, constant drama. Not a drama, but a never-ending flow of negativity. And I believe that's why we have some negativity now. Because she's focusing on it. But I'm still focusing on being home. Mother wasn't a good example. That's another example. Sometimes what people want and what they get has to come through some sort of destruction. Sometimes. I guess. Maybe all the time. I don't know. Sometimes, with my experience anyway, it has to go through some sort of destruction. Give you some cases. Dennis Smith with soldiers. Actually, it was like that was the last service that I worked for as an ambulance paramedic. I'm under the assumption that this is just going to be audio because I am definitely not pointing the camera at anything pretty. But seriously, Dennis Smith pushed very hard and built a company, Soldiers EMS, very quickly, and it was profitable until the negativity of sexual indiscretions, the negativity of I don't care attitudes, along with overspending, I guess. Whatever the reason. He wanted to save his company. Okay? He wanted to save his company. He wanted to save the employees. I think if they would have asked me, I could have probably given them a suggestion, because I am good with stuff like that, but you know, that's alright. It's probably better I wasn't involved, because then I became involved later under life med. But anyway. You know, that's kind of funny. Yeah. Okay, so he wanted to save his company. Lord, give me a sign. That's what that song was always about, that he kept playing over and over in his office, apparently. And so, it is that Carmine came along. He thought Carmine was his savior because he was looking to save his company. Carmine had other ideas. Carmine fucked him, fucked everybody, destroyed the company, sold everything, and went on, because that's what he does. Because he's about making money. So in his mind, when he saw the ambulance company, he just thought, okay, I can get this, I can sell these parts and make it profitable. Or sell it for money, and what he ended up doing was deciding to keep it a little bit, and that's how I became the administrator, which was one of the things that I had wanted to do, and consequently it was brought into my life. So those are some case examples of actually quite a few. Okay, let me give you some more case examples. I'm just going to set that camera there and smoke a cigarette. So we have first of all, let's take Dennis Smith's son-in-law, Matthew. This is another case in example. Matthew, and I don't remember the girl's name. Angela, Jennifer. Anyway, Matt started to have sexual misappropriations with this married woman, and he was married. And they wanted each other so badly. They loved each other. And in some fucking awkward twist of fate, apparently each of them split and gathered to the other one. So her husband went with his wife, which, okay, whatever. So for a time, they were good. They were making it, allegedly. They were living, you know, and then the other couple was living in there, and the kids were whatever. And then Matt gets ran over by a motorcycle and killed. Now, how would you say that you brought that into your life? That's a pretty goddamn good question. Well, your mind is a very, very fertile place. Very, very fertile place your mind is. And whatever seed you plant in that mind, in that fertile ground, pretty much is guaranteed to grow. You know, no effort needed, really. And because of that, our behaviors, our attitudes, our actions, our um, um, the behaviors, thoughts, and actions, uh, they, they kind of help balance the direction of our life. And what our life is a perfect representation of what we have inside of us. So if we have conflict on the outside of us, that's because we have conflict on the inside of us. And if we have sexual misappropriations on the outside of us, then we have sexual misappropriations on the inside of us. Whatever is in our life, whatever our life is to us, is that mirror of what is inside us. Now, that being said, if you behave in high risk behavior, chances are, even for the open person who realizes what life is, damn it! Okay. So let's say you're open. Okay, let's say you know what life is. And I just told you that life is the perfect representation of what is inside your mind. Right? Not inside your body, because this body is not you. Rather inside this brain, which is part of this physical body, is the mind, which is life. Our life perception is exactly what we have inside of us. Let's accept that. And when you're in high-risk behavior, and when you have thrown about negativity and participated in negative, disassociated now I got the goddamn word and I forgot the sentence. I guess what I'm saying is, once you understand that and you are open, it's kind of playful, because if you can accept that your life is an image, a mirror image of what you have in your mind, then to get what we want in our life, all we have to do is change what we have in our mind. wow. You know, it's that simple. You know, but I guess people just can't really understand that. They always try to run away from their life, you know. They don't like their life. They've made mistakes in their life, you know. Oh my God, my life sucks, you know. I'm in prison for the rest of my life, you know, or I fucking go with death row my life. Or, you know, you're 48 years old, you had a stroke 2 years ago, and, you know, wow, my life is now um, not what it was. But when you realize what I just told you, and then you look at your own life, which was your own mirror representation of what I had in my head, I mean, I wanted to be home. I wanted to enjoy what I worked for, to provide for my family, which I could not at the time. And here I am. You may say, well, the stroke. You didn't bring the stroke in your life. Oh, please. um, the stroke seed was planted in my head way long time ago. When I went through emergency medicine training, everybody knows that's a very high stress job, and if you last past the burnout period and are able to retire from it, more or less like I did, then they either have strokes or heart attacks. And the reason being was because we were so amped up on adrenaline to get our jobs done to save people's lives, that once we walk away from it, you know, it catches up. So that's when the seed of stroke was planted. And it has been touched on throughout my whole life. Even the summer before the stroke, I actually said on camera something about a stroke. Okay. I'm not upset about it because I understand my life is a mirror of what's inside of me. And that was planted a long time ago, and it grew. And by my own personal choices, smoking cigarettes, pushing myself day and night, with my personal choices and that seed that was planted, it came about. Now I need to figure out. No shit, I really do need to figure this out. Since I know what I know, what can I do? And whom do I do it to affect the mirror representation of the future life? Of my future life. That's kind of a fun concept. And that's what I'm going to try to work on.